Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another edition of Alviso. For those of you new to the channel, this is a weekly criterium every Tuesday at noon in Alviso, which is here in Northern California, right? NorCal Cycling, Northern California, makes sense. But anyway, it's a crit. It's a pretty long crit, flat, crosswinds aplenty. So I'm just sitting here chatting with my buddy Matt. Suddenly, he just turns it on, coming through this corner. This is lap one, you guys, and he's just this type of rider with a big diesel motor, 400-something watt FTP. He just starts smashing. In fact, he pulls so hard, the field splits in the headwind section. This is hard to do, mind you, to split a peloton, especially on lap one of a crit in a headwind section. And if you notice something, he hasn't even turned his head. Like, he's not paying attention. He is just, dude is built for speed, and this is just brute force. 30 miles an hour into this headwind. You can see I'm in his draft. I'm still doing like 300 to 500 watts just to follow him. And yeah, we're opening a gap right now. I'm kind of just like white knuckled. I don't notice. He hasn't looked back. And when I finally do look back right here, I'm like, oh, okay. So I just pull through and I continue to add fuel to the fire that Matt started. Okay, but first a quick word from the sponsor of this video. I want to thank Caldera Lab. And today they're providing an exclusive offer, 20% discount if you use the code NORCAL at checkout. They sent me the Regimen bundle, which consists of the Clean Slate. This is a gentle plant-based balancing cleanser, leaving all skin types exceptionally refreshed. The base layer is a nutrient-dense fortifying moisturizer that hydrates your skin and absorbs fast, leaving you with a matte finish so you can start your day confidently. The Good, this is your go-to multifunctional serum that helps your skin looking tighter and smoother, as well as helping reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. Because, guys, we are out in the sun training all day, which I think is why they also sent me the Icon. They must have had one good look at me and realized this dude needs it. It's a rejuvenating eye serum to address the three most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. Check all three of those boxes for me. If you don't want that elephant skin, that sunken eye look that I have, check out the link in the description. 20% off right now for fans of the channel. So thank you, Caldera Labs. With that said, let's get back into the race. And low-key, I thought the race was going to be over on lap one. I thought we were just going to get away. But they managed to chase us back. Matt just goes again. I should have immediately jumped on his wheel right there, gotten into his draft, because just look at how tired these chasers are. We can't let him get away, so I just stand up. We're in the tailwind section. Another big effort here, over 30 miles an hour. Guys, we're still on lap number one, but you can see how tired they are back there, and I'm hoping that maybe if I follow Matt, we can really force this issue within the first lap of this race and get into a breakaway group. But it's not meant to be. Absolutely wild the first 10 minutes of this race. By the way, I normalized around 380 watts of power, and even though we do get brought back again, if you look back in the rear camera, the field is already less than half of how it started, so it wasn't a total waste. Fireworks have gone off, and there's already a selection just 10 minutes into this Alviso. But, of course, it's not enough for Matt, so there he goes, strikes out again. And look, guys, this is how you need to race if you aren't a sprinter, and you don't want things to come down to a field sprint, because I can't keep chasing these. I mean, I'm trying here, but at a certain point, I just need to let Matt go and hope I can get some help, get a rotating pace line going with others in the chase group. Matt was just, you know, sort of on one of those special days today where you can't feel the chain, where 400 watts feels like nothing. And lucky for me, I did get that help. After a little bit of reshuffling, some reorganizing, that's what we ended up with, a rotating group, well, a mostly rotating group, but it was enough for us to keep Matt within about 10 to 15 seconds off the front, who, by the way, is now solo. He is solo off the front, 20 kilometers left in this race. Still a big danger, but I just want to keep him on a leash up there. And for the next 10 kilometers, that's basically what we did. We're about 9 kilometers left in this race, and Matt's still up there, but he's got only about maybe 10-second lead. Look, it's still a big threat, like I said before, but here's how I see this situation. He's close enough where if I really need to, I could jump across. It'll be painful, but I could jump across. And as long as everyone's still playing nice, you know, continuing rotating, continuing to share that responsibility of chasing, I'm good. And that lasted until 9 kilometers to go. The pace line appears to have just come to an end. Like, no more rotations. And you can hear everyone kind of rumbling, like, come on, keep rotating, let's go, let's go. But you can see our speed drops, and Matt's lead is now extending out, which is exactly what he wants, and it's precisely how I lose this race. So no hesitation. In this tailwind section of the course, I send it. And like I said, if we're not playing nice anymore, we're not rotating, neither am I. This is my attempt to jump across to Matt, I think for the third time this race. And it's so important to recognize these situations. I see so many people lose races. Otherwise, like really strong field sprinters lose races just this way because it's easy to become complacent. You're like, oh, we're still rotating, or like there's still all these people, you know, what can one rider do? It's amazing what type of lead you can give up in just a short amount of time once you stop pedaling the bike. So yeah, after some wrestling with my bike, some more power, 174 beats per minute, I make it up here to the promised land with my buddy Matt once again. Now we're 8 kilometers to go. So this is getting down to it now. I decide, because we have this gap, to get to the front. This is the way you have to do it if you want there to be a successful breakaways. You really have to commit to it, especially early on. Show that you're interested in making this work. So that's what I'm doing here, despite my heart rate being totally jacked up in the mid 170s. I just want to give Matt the indication that I'm going to commit to this breakaway. He's obviously strong enough to make it happen. I elbow him through, and it's like, cool, we got a small group. Guys, no, not again. And this is so frustrating, right? This is the part where it's like, don't let him get away again. We just did all this work to get up to him, and now he's just going to get away again. And you can see how easily, like I was saying, that gap can just open up once you stop pedaling. Yeah, a big part of it is Matt is incredibly strong, and he's doing a lot of power up there. He's really aero. But also, like, 5 seconds, 10 seconds of indecision, suddenly he's back up to 5 seconds. So we go back to chasing. Ouch. And that brings us to just outside of 4 kilometers to go, and I decide to roll the dice on this very late race breakaway. Look, I normally wouldn't do this. At this point in the race, I'm usually starting to think about the sprint, but I figured, look, everyone's so tired from just how tough this race has been. And look at the timing of this, right? Big slingshot attack up the left-hand side, right into the draft of this accelerating rider. It's about as good as it gets, you guys. Plus, don't forget, Matt is still up there with a handful of seconds. So we have to bring him back, first and foremost. We're all losing this race until Matt is brought back. And you can see him now, it's only just a couple of seconds, right? So once we make this right into the crosswind section, rider in front of me is going to peel off, and I'm just going to put my head down and rip it again in this crosswind section. And what I'm doing here is I just want to see if I can snap that elastic and force some separation in the group, which, in hindsight, looking back, now looking at the rear camera, you can see that there were some small splits developing, meaning, people were having to do a hard effort just like I was, but it wasn't quite hard enough to make that late race breakaway that I was hoping for. But at least it was enough to finally bring Matt back, which gets us into bell lap here, the last lap of this race. And the truth is, the last lap is actually kind of chill. Everyone's just been beating up on each other for this entire race. It's been such a hard-fought race that things kind of slow down in the last lap, which is atypical. This isn't the normal set of circumstances in a criterium. But it's great news for me because I'm a sprinter. I'm able to fall back, save some energy in the draft, and recharge my battery in order to pop off my strongest possible sprint in the final 200 meters of this race. But somebody had other plans. Can you guys guess who? I'll give you a clue. Here's my rear camera, and there he goes. There goes Matt, and he's just going to send it up the right-hand side. Big old slingshot attack. This is the NorCal signature slingshot going up the right-hand side, taking the inside corner as we enter the crosswind section. Such a well-timed attack. And again, it's worth repeating. If you're not a field sprinter, don't let it come down to a field sprint. So Matt's doing the absolute right thing here. The best I can do in this situation is just kind of yell right, because it was such a well-timed attack. Caught everyone by surprise, myself included. And now I just have to hope that other people chase it back. And it looks like so far I'm doing over 1,000 watts. This kind of sucks. But it looks like San Jose, kudos to San Jose Bike Club, these guys in blue, for taking up the chase. Because I think they still had 3 riders in this lead group, which again, kudos, for having like all 3 of their riders still in this group this late in the race, that's pretty amazing too. So they're going to take up the chase in order to set things up for their sprinter. And I'm going to sit in as long as they're chasing. You can see they're on the front right now, jamming pretty hard, but Matt is on another level. He is still off the front by, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, something like that. But we're going pretty quick here in the crosswind section. It's not absolutely like all out 30 plus miles an hour, but it's 27, and it's good enough to at least hold Matt at that 5 seconds. And I'm getting an excellent draft. So I'm not in a rush to jump. And just like before, as long as people are riding hard on the front, then I'm fine sitting back. You can see that the San Jose rider took his effort, peeled off. And now I think it's Timmy on the front. Unfortunately, Timmy was a bit too close to the front. Guys, position's so important in the final kilometer of bike races because of how drafting works, especially at high speeds. So he's stuck on the front. He does the right thing, though. He maintains a high level of speed, especially once we make a right here into the tailwind section. Then he steps on it, and he goes really fast. You can see we're going over 30 miles an hour now. I'm patient. Matt still has 5 seconds. So with 250 meters to go, you might be thinking, Jeff, now or never. And when I see this gap start to open up, that's when I know it's time to go. So I really step on it here, come around the San Jose rider, and I'm going to catch and pass Timmy because he spent so much time on the front, and same with Matt because he had spent so much time off the front. So it might have seemed like I waited way too long, and I think a lot of people in that situation would panic sprint from like 400, 500 meters out, which is way too early. It's so important to understand what your competition has been doing. Timmy was on the front doing a really hard effort for a long period of time. Matt was off the front doing a hard effort for a long period of time. So I knew that they were fading and losing speed. I knew that I could come out of the draft and increase my speed all the way through to the finish line, pull down the W. So thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.